Hello again, YouTube. This is the Truth Man giving you the truth. And these truths will help you, but we're going to talk about some things today because it's a lot of things that definitely need to be talked about. For starters, we're going to get into a lot of relationship stuff as usual. But on this one, I want to talk about loyalty, because here's the thing. I think this is one of the key things, and y'all know I like to connect the dots with my videos on a daily basis. You'd be like, oh, okay, that's why he said that. Oh, okay, that's what he meant by that. But I want to talk about loyalty. And loyalty, lack thereof, is the reason why most relationships, friendships, all of that is a waste of time. It's the reason why most people are broke, because they're being loyal to people who are not being loyal to them. You got preachers, pastors, that none of their relatives, none of their friends they grew up with go to their churches. Why? Because they're not loyal to them. They're not loyal to them. But when they die, though, you are required to go to their funerals and be around all these funny acting people. Even though funerals itself are a pagan practice, and even though the Bible doesn't teach funerals, people expect you to be at their funeral, even if they don't like you like that and they don't feel the need to be loyal to you. Let me show you how loyalty is supposed to work. You have this thing called a wheel or a circle. It goes like this. It's supposed to go round and round. You ever seen how the mouse is in the circle and he's just going around in circles, but he's not getting anywhere? Because it's a pointless act, and he's exerting meaningless energy doing something that doesn't matter. But in real life, though, real life works different for humans, but they try to make it work for a bunch of crabs in the barrel. They try to make it work like crabs in the barrel, like two mice on one wheel. They try to do the bare minimum, and they are not loyal usually. Let me tell you something that happened that made me think about this. I'm not gonna say his name, but there's a YouTuber that I've been following a long time, and another YouTuber challenged me to come to his live, thinking he's gonna shame me and ridicule me, but they don't know what they're dealing with. They're gonna see. And these particular people were talking about him. So I told him, hey man, they on there saying blah, 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 right? He says one word, blocked. I'm like, what did he mean by that exactly? Are you talking about you gonna block me? Somebody that's trying to look out for you? I'm trying to tell you what's going on, because you do a good job of making certain kind of videos, but you want to act like it's me instead of going and investigating for yourself. That's how people are. Like, people is weird, man. People, listen, I am a INFJ personality. If you know anything about personality characteristics, that's my personality, INFJ. So when you're dealing with an INFJ personality, you dealing with somebody that is, their strength is seeing the truth, reading between the lines, so on and so forth. So when you're dealing with those type of people, you want those type of people in your corner. Most people, all they care about is money, getting pats on the back and stuff like that. But the real people, though, they don't think like that. Because money is good for any of us. But look at the people who got the most of it. They get bored. They treat real life like a Squid Game. Like they want to attack the peasants, the peons, as they think. But y'all want to be like them. That's what the Bible was talking about in the book of James. Read it for yourself. So what you need to do is, if you've been loyal to a person that's not loyal to you, you need to scale back that loyalty. Stop being loyal to them. They're not being loyal to you. That's idolatry. Anytime the Bible says idolatry shall have a part in the lake of fire. So anytime you have this particular situation where you have, it's almost like one person holding on to another, but that person got their back turned. Instead of y'all got each other in a firm grasp. Like, that's idolatry. That's what it is. And most of these YouTubers, they want to be idolized, man. Like, some of them might have some type of desire to help people, but most of them, they just want to be idolized. Well, listen, I'm not going to idolize you. Even if I like what you do and I respect what you do, I'm not going to idolize you. See, this is how it's going to work. It's going to be equal or nothing. Y'all got to be the same way. And I ain't talking about no woman being equal with man. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about the unbiblical stuff. I'm talking about in terms of how partnership works usually is each party has a percentage of whatever they are partnering in, right? Okay, well, when it comes to loyalty, loyalty has to be either 50-50 or 100-100. If it's not, don't stop dealing with them people as much. Like, you might need to cut some ties, divorce, break up, do whatever. But if you more loyal to other people than they are to you, then why are you dealing with them on a regular? I don't care if it's your mama. I don't care. Like, my mother, your mother, it don't matter. Like, for instance, let's say in my own, I ain't gonna divulge too much, because weak people, they'll try to use what you say against you. But I will say this, that what I'm talking about, I've experienced it. So don't try to act like I'm talking about something that I don't know what I'm talking about. When it comes to loyalty, a lot of y'all viewers, y'all watching content creators who you more loyal to them than they are to you. That has to change. Especially if you're a content creator yourself. That has to change. Unless you believe they're better than you, hey, do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. Do what you feel you have to do. But me personally, I'm not rocking like that no more. Like, some of these dudes, man, you'll be having a back. You'll be supporting them financially. Preachers was like that too. That's why, if y'all want to know why I really stopped going to these Christian churches, besides them being amateur in their knowledge and catering to women, that would be third. Like most of these pastors, it was like you more loyal to them than they are to you. And it shouldn't be that way. How loyal a person is to you, you should match their loyalty. So if they not loyal to you at all, then you shouldn't be loyal to them at all. I mean, that's where people mess up. That's why there's so much depression in the world, this, that, and the other. Because you got other people up here and you putting yourself down here. You got to stop doing that. That's what causes depression. Depression is caused by caring what others think. You got to change that. You got to care what you think. You got to care about yourself first. See, I grew up thinking that it was wrong to be selfish. It depends on what type of selfishness you exhibit. It's not necessarily wrong to be selfish in terms of loyalty. Because if a person ain't loyal to you, then you're not selfish for not being loyal to them. In a sense, you are. But if you are, it's a good type of selfishness. You know? So, you got to realize, man, watch all my videos today. I'm telling you, you going to learn something. You're going to learn something. Anytime I wake up early, that be the gems. That be the gems. So y'all got to stop elevating certain people. I don't care. We're going to talk about family too. Everybody that you related to is not family. In fact, rarely any of them are. We're going to talk about that too. Because we got to get into this relationship thing. Because one of the problems in the world is people don't know how to treat each other. People don't know how to support one another, especially amongst blacks. Now, I'm going to talk about black people right here because I know some Indians. I talk to them on a regular basis. I know people in other races. Blacks are the least loyal in most cases. And again, if you're the exception to the rule, then we're not talking about you. So most black people, like, they'll start out loyal, but then they'll start to resent those who love them sometimes. Like, whether it's their parents, whether it's the husband, wife in some cases, kids with their parents. This is why you gotta have a flip switch, and you gotta know that all forms of relationship are conditional. There's no unconditional love, no unconditional relationships. Anybody that try to treat somebody with unconditional love is cheating themselves, because nobody's gonna do that for you. So you really cheating yourself when it comes to that. I'm not loving nobody unconditional. When I look at everybody's body of work that I know in terms of how they treated me, sometimes good, sometimes bad, sometimes so-so, never excellent, never great. It's just, hey, I ain't mad about it. This how people is. I study people. I watch wildlife. I read a lot of stuff on psychology and behavior and personalities, so on and so forth. That's why I told you I'm an INFJ personality. It's the rarest personality in the world. Most people are going to believe you're a weirdo when you're a genius. Every INFJ is a genius in some category or categories. But people seem to think, most people dismiss everything and cop out. What do I mean by this? Because you've been taught to work things out, right? You stay in bad marriages. You stay in bad relationships. You stay at toxic jobs when you shouldn't do none of the above. What you should do is believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Create, dominate. Create, dominate. Don't let nobody, not your wife, not your kids, not your cousins, not your auntie, not your brothers, not your mama, not your dad. Don't never love nobody to the point of minimizing yourself and your ability. Again, all relationships are conditional. They're not unconditional. If you're trying to treat somebody with unconditional love, you are being cheated. You are being a fool, because nobody's going to do that for you. Especially if you black. Come on now, man. The truth is the truth. The truth is the truth. A lot of families, what happens is you grow up as cousins. You young, y'all play together, y'all do everything together, y'all help each other fight everything, right? Then, amongst blacks, usually, we're not talking about the exceptions. What happens is you begin to drift away from each other. And it's usually one more than the other. It's usually a lot of times when if you get into the Bible, you get saved, your cousins that's not into that, they're going to look for reasons to criticize you, mock you, so on and so forth. And when they do so, it's going to create what's called discord between you and them, between them and the person, or between the person they're talking to and the person they're talking about. That's just how it is. This is why you go around certain people and they have bad energy. Because they've been talking down on you. They've been talking down on you. And a lot of times if you listen closely and you out of the room, you'll hear them doing it. You'll hear them doing it. That's why I'm going to tell you like this. I don't hate anyone, but I'm not in love with anyone, nor do I view others as I'm gonna do this. You're supposed to look out for your kids and stuff like that, your responsibilities, but you supposed to match people's energy towards you. How can you be in love with a person that says disrespectful things to you, that does disrespectful things to you, that doesn't help you, aid you when needed, doesn't support you? When I started preaching, I learned how most people was. And I didn't hold it against any of them. I just learned, like, hey man, this is just how it is. I looked around, well, none of my guys I grew up with in there. None of my relatives wasn't in there. I mean, I didn't take it personal. I just looked at it like, I gotta find the people who value me to the point of being there for me, supporting me, encouraging me, building with me. And all the rest of them, forget them. You don't, see, this is what people do. People give people situational advantages. What do I mean by this? Because they're a wife, husband, kid, grandkid, parent, cousin, no matter what they do, you try to do right by them because of the situation, because of the so-called relationship, right? Wrong. Shouldn't do that. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. This is one of the things that's what's wrong with the world. Because when you don't highlight bad behavior, and like Shannon Sharp said, and shout out to Shannon Sharp, black people need to stop doing that. When somebody is correcting somebody, don't take up for them. Don't take up for them. Just be like, you know what? He got a point. He's right. You never take up for somebody that's being corrected, that needs to be corrected. Women were not put here to be hoes. Women were not put here to lead men. Genesis 3:16. Women were not put here to be pedestalized. They were put here to help. But you got guys on the internet and on YouTube that would say otherwise. Oh, now so you telling God, move over. Watch out, Most High. You don't know what you're talking about. This is how it's supposed to be. That's what most of y'all doing. Watch out, God. You don't know what you're talking about. And as a result, the devil takes over. Isolates people. Like, if you got families, right? This is why I don't believe in being in just because you grew up in the city. If you don't have legitimate relationships with the people in the city that you are in, why would you stay there? Like, you stroking the ego or egos of the people that's there that knew you at one point or another. You stroking their ego by being there. That's why I'm gonna move again, you see. And the only people I'm gonna talk to is the people like the stuff I'm talking about. Loyal people. I'm not even talking to, I don't got nothing to say to these and if you talking behind my back and you a grown man, you shouldn't be saying nothing about another man behind his back that you wouldn't say to his face. I try to limit what I say when a person ain't around if I wouldn't want the conflict that would come from saying it in their face. And that's how we should be. It's bad energy everywhere because that's not how it is. People will talk about you like a dog and then gaslight you when you come around. You a weak man if you do that. You a weak man. You a weak man. I don't care. It don't matter how much money you got. It don't matter how many women you think you got. You a weak dude. If this is you. If this is you, you weak. You talk about people like a dog, then when they come around, you ain't got none of that to say. But match people's loyalty from today. Match people's loyalty. You dealing with a disloyal wife, why complain about it? Don't talk about your wife to those people at your job. If she's that bad, divorce her. Divorce her. Like, why keep talking about her? Figure out how you gonna go about it, because you already know she gonna try to get you. Because she don't like you anyway. She don't respect you. So she gonna try to get you. So you gonna have to plan that out. She might say she ain't, but her behavior right now, if she's nickel and diming you, stuff like that, you already know how she gonna try to do you. Girlfriends, it's simple. Just break up with them. If they live with you, move out. You say, well, I don't want to break my lease. All right, wait till the lease is up, then move out. Or ask her to move out. But you need to match people's loyalty. I'm telling you, it will cause the frequency to go up because they not loyal to you. You loyal to them, but their disloyalty, if you got 5 people that's disloyal to one particular person, that's -4. You need to match their loyalty and deal with them as such afterward. This is the truth, man. We can end this video. I'm gonna call this part 1 because I'm not really done talking about this. I gotta get on this some more. But I got other things I need to talk about today. Thanks for watching. Keep tuning in for more videos.